What's up?
So right now, you're being aggressive, right? So you're violating my Third Amendment right because I'm quartering.
Angels and demons.
What's up, guys? What's up, Anarchist? Anarchist, how's it going today? Antichrist. Decided to test some new software. I decided to see if I could do this with Streamlabs with StreamYard. That's the goal right now. Hopefully, everything works out. So, hopefully, it all works out. What's up, Alexander? Hold on, guys. Give me a second. I think I fixed Nightbot too. So, commands, custom. All right, guys, try and put in exclamation mark panel. I want to see if it pulls up the panel. Shoot, close to. Damn. I messed up. Can you guys hear me? There it is. All right. Yeah. Okay. Let's see something here. Hold on. I got this. I got this. I got this. I got this. Right. think that works. No, I think I have to put in a new panel though. Hold on, let me do this again. See, I'm getting all the bugs out here. I'm trying to figure this out. What's going on, Hawkout? Alright, so let me someone try and come onto the panel, please. I want to see if I'm on the right one or not. Yeah, I think that is right. Alright. Nothing much. We're just testing out some new software. I got the Nightbot working, so now hopefully it should be exclamation mark panel without the space in between Alexander. Chief, try and come up on. Put an exclamation mark panel without any spaces. Or just click right there. Nightbot has it right there. Just click on that little panel right there that Nightbot has. Just click on that. I just want to see if this thing's working or not. If I can, come up. I don't know if this is working very well. I know, isn't it exciting? Well, I'm just trying to see if it'll work. I'm trying to, yeah. See, right, it should be right there. Now, if you could click on it, I just want to see if it's able for people to come on. Chief.
Hey, what's up, Kenny? How's it
Oh,
going?
all right. Crap, it works. Nice. Yeah, I thought I'd want to use Streamlabs because Streamlabs has got all the cool stuff on it. So I thought, let me try and see if I can merge Streamlabs and StreamYard, and it looks like I can. So I think there's a big delay.
I'm not hearing a delay. Everything sounds fine to me.
Yeah, no, not for you. But I think there's like a 5 or 6 second delay, not between me and you, because we're both on the same thing. But I mean, like for everyone to hear me, because I've said like do the panel thing and like a while ago, and someone, just anyway, whatever. It's working. How are you doing today?
I'm
Hey,
doing
Matt.
really well.
All right.
How is it going out there? Are the fires still like coming towards you, or are they kind of getting solved, or what's going on?
Yeah, they're still it's still bad out there, but I mean, it's a summer thing. It's like it's normal. This is what we deal with in the summer here in California. So, oh, someone else is trying to come in. Well, maybe not. Well, they did, and then they're not there. But yeah, so like I said, it's no big deal here. But it is what it is. And no, Vlad, actually, I fixed Nightbot. Nightbot now, it's not going to say anything about cap letters or anything like that. I fixed that because I thought that was a bunch of bullcrap. Yeah, so you delayed a YouTube about 4 or 5 seconds. That's what's up, Joe. That's what it is. I'm using StreamYard. I've never used StreamYard with it before, so I thought I'd give it a shot. I don't know if I'm really liking it that much. I don't like the delay. I do like the chat format, though. It's like right on the side. It looks really cool. I actually see emojis. Usually I don't get to see emojis on StreamYard, I like the chat layout better, but other than that, it is what it is. So anyway, Joe, I saw you on Sancho's channel earlier today. You guys were talking about the Breonna Taylor thing. Excellent. Thought you did a good job. So about you, what's going on in your neck of the woods, Chief?
It's not much going on. It's starting to get cool. This is the first day of fall here, in the Midwest, and it's actually starting to get pretty cool at night. It's nice, because like the summer it's really hot and humid, but we're getting some really mild weather. It's really nice.
Okay, cool. And if anybody wants to join the panel, all you gotta do is do like the normal StreamYard link, the exclamation mark panel, and the panel link will come on up, or just wait. Nightbot will set up for every 15 minutes to show it. So, anybody wants to join it. I want to use Nightbot because it was easier. That way I don't have to keep putting in the damn, panel link, and just makes it easier. Just pretty cool. Anyway, but yeah, Joe, you did a good job. So, Chief, do you ever think about, like, I don't know, doing some filming of your local police station? Just like going there and, maybe talking to the chief? That'll be cool. Ex-chief talking to a current chief? I think that'll be a very interesting talk. You should think about doing something like that.
Well, I already kind of did. I did a little video in the parking lot. I was trying to film the cruisers in the parking lot, but they had an emergency call that morning, and the sheriff and a lot of the deputies were gone, so I didn't really get to film a whole lot of the cruisers. But yeah, I know the sheriff. He's a good guy. I'm Facebook friends with him, and he actually has a lot of experience. He was an Alaskan state.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so when he came to our county, he was chief of police of a local jurisdiction when he ran for sheriff, and then he got elected sheriff. And he's a really good guy. He's a really good guy. He's open. He said, hey, you can film whatever you want, but just don't film the corrections side. And you can understand that, you don't want anybody filming the corrections side because they don't want anybody, like, making a plan for busting someone out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was actually thinking about, because I want to do some, like, live streams in the downtown area where I live, and usually in the downtown area there's, like, a lot of cops. I figure whenever I see a police officer, I'm gonna try and go out of my way to say, hey, thanks for what you're doing. Because, I mean, when you think about it, in the times we are right now, like you say all the time, there's just this dislike of law enforcement, and I don't know how often they get told that their job is appreciated, and I just want to, be able to do that because, I do appreciate them. Unless I know it's a bad cop, then of course I'm not going to. But, if I don't know, I'm not just going to assume that that's a bad cop. I'm going to say, hey, you know what? I know this is a hard time for you guys. I just want to let you know that, there are people out there that do support you. And, not everyone that comes up to you that's going to be recording you with a camera is here to make you look bad. I just want to say, hey, dude, I have like-minded people on the channel that, think cops do a good job. So, I figure if I run into any, I'm not going out looking for them. But, I'm sure I'll run into them because the downtown area we have is actually a state park. So, actually, we'll be seeing probably a bunch of park rangers too.
Yeah, it's all the years that I was on duty, I think I probably got thanked like maybe 5 times over 18 years.
Jeez.
It's not a profession where you get into it to get thanks. You get into it because you want to help society from, going out of control, and it's a thankless job. It really is. Like I said, I've only been thanked, like 5 or 6 times out of 18 years, and we don't do it for thanks, but it's nice to get thanks, because every once in a while people say, hey, you guys are great, thanks a lot, you really helped me out, and those times really mean the most to us, because it's like I said, most of the time when you show up, people are not happy. They're not at their best. Police officers see the worst of society all the time because not all people who, we respond to calls on are bad people. They're just at a point in their lives where they're having a problem. Either they're mad or they've assaulted somebody or what have you. But, you have to kind of treat everybody like people. Like, dude, I know you committed a crime, but we're going to have to take you downtown, we're going to have to book you, and then you're going to have to bail out. But that doesn't really mean that they're bad people. It's a funny thing being a law enforcement officer because it's like a roller coaster ride. It really is. It's not like any other profession on the face of the planet.
No, it's not. And even when you're not on duty, you're not officially off duty. You know, like you're never really off duty when you're a police officer. And then again, you know, but then there's also, you know, you guys get held to a higher standard. But at the same time, you should be held to a higher standard. So it takes a certain personality, and it takes a lot of morals and just just a lot of morals, and you've got to be willing to look at each situation differently. And I know it's probably hard as a police officer at some point in your career. It's very easily to become jaded, and you know, I know maybe, and sometimes maybe it's even hard to notice that you are jaded to certain situations unless you really take an honest look at yourself, right?
Yeah, and that's you're exactly right. The thing is after so many, I've seen a lot of veteran officers, guys that did way more years than I have. They just get to the point where they're like, they've heard it all, they've had to deal with it all, and it's the same thing, the same thing. Now, a lot of, like, when I came out of the police academy in 1993. A lot of the guys that were still on duty were from the late 60s into the 70s and into the 80s. They were like going on 27, 30 years of experience. And those guys were so set in their ways. They were unbendable. Now, the police officers today, they have to adapt. They have to, you know, kind of adhere to the public trust. They have to serve the public. Back in the old days, when I came out of the academy, all the old training officers were like, you know what? If they don't say, you know, if they're not doing what you want, smack them in the head with a baton. You know, back then, that was the old method. You know, if you didn't comply, we were going to beat the crap out of you. But you know, now today with video cameras and the information age, it's not like that. Cops have to be really on their toes to not violate anybody's civil rights.
Absolutely. You know, and yeah, I think it, in with this day and age, it kind of makes it to where you have to be a more honest cop. It's harder it's harder, but then again, in some instances, it's not. But it's kind of harder to be a bad cop this day and age and get away with it. You know, it's because of technology. You got cameras, you got dash cams, you got body cams. Not every, you know, city has a body cam, but it definitely makes it harder for the bad cops to continue to do the bad things they do. And as we saw in different cities, it's coming out that whole departments are bad and they're getting in trouble as a whole department. You know, we're seeing all this stuff go, and it's just harder and harder. And I think, and then the public's starting to get tired of it. But then at the same time, they're painting all cops with this broad brush, what they really shouldn't do. And just, I don't know, just to me, I'm sure it's harder for police to do that way. You know, just to operate their day to day when you got people dumping piss on cops or water or just treating them with utter disrespect, and just it's got to be bad. I mean, it's got to be. I don't know. How do you think you would do if you were still an active police officer?
Well, I think, you know, the one thing that law enforcement really, the best thing that happened to law enforcement officers was the body camera. Back in the old days, we didn't have body cameras. We didn't even really have cameras in the car when I came out. Cameras in the car came later. But the body cam is the best thing that ever happened to law enforcement, because, you know what? If the cop did something wrong, they're going to know it right away. And they're gonna evaluate that as, you know, it's not like the old days where you could just make up your own story and people would just believe the cops. It's not like that anymore. And it's very important that police officers do their job correctly for a number of reasons. Not just because you have a camera in your face, but you don't want to violate people's civil rights. You want to do your job right. You want to do your job correctly. You wanna protect everybody equally. In the old days when we knew who the scumbags were, we didn't treat them equally. They always got the short shaft. But when you work in a small jurisdiction like I was a very rural jurisdiction, you learn the troublemakers really quick. But now that the information age is here and we have body cameras and in-car cameras and all that, it really, I think it enhances the professionalism of officers because they know they have to do their job correctly.
Right. Definitely, and it's definitely I'm sure, and that's great that you feel that way. But there's certain cops out there that feel that it makes their job harder because now just think about it, every little mistake that a cop makes now is going to be scrutinized. Well, why did this happen this way? Could it have happened a different way? And then you've got the people that are just don't see any good from the police, or the total anti-government people that are just looking for any little thing that the government did wrong, and just to nail them on it, sort of thing.
Yeah, you're never going to change those people's minds. The people who are like the First Amendment auditors and the anti-police people, Antifa, what have you. You're never going to change their minds. You could do your job absolutely 100% correctly, and they would still say that you violated their rights somehow.
Yeah, absolutely. But then again, at the same time, it's not what I like is not all the auditors are like that. There are some that are out there that aren't. They may not be pro police, but they're not completely anti police. They have a certain respect for police because a lot of them realize maybe they have police in their family. They realize the kind of job it is, the thankless job it is, how hard it is. Just you're dealing with the Glens and the Glenn and Joshes of society on a daily basis, every day. Sometimes you see the same guy, like you'll see a Glenn going around doing what Glenn does. You got your town drunks, you got your just people that do the same thing, the people that never learn. And when you keep dealing with that same person in the same situation, like we were talking about earlier, it's just hard to not get jaded to that situation and kind of like, oh God, again, sort of thing. Even though in a perfect world, the cops would treat each situation separately and differently. It always doesn't always go that way because again, we are all human. Police are all human, and everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has a bad day, and all that. But it's just to me that kind of people need to. I think a lot more people need to kind of take that sort of thing into account when they're dealing with the police. Like, okay, yeah, you're not sure what's going on in that police's life right now. Yeah, granted, in a perfect world, he wouldn't bring that sort of thing to work. But I mean, how hard is it? Think about yourself. What if you yourself were in a situation where you just lost 2, 3 relatives and you got to go right to work and you got to deal with the public and you are held to such a high standard? Don't you think you would make some mistakes? You might be a little antsy. You might be a little not at your in top form at that time. There's this life happens regardless of whatever job you have, and it's just, I think a lot of people need to take a lot of that sort of thing into account.
Yeah, the thing is okay, when you're a law enforcement officer, you have to be on 100% of the time. You have to be correct 100% of the time. It's not like that easy. I wish I could take Glenn Serio out on an 8-hour patrol in a police car, because I'll tell you what, it would change his fucking mind right away. Because they don't know the stress that you have, your physiological body, when you get through stress and you get adrenaline rushes and then you calm down, then you get an adrenaline rush and then you calm down. Those auditors don't understand that. That's why I would like to take Glenn and Josh and all those other, Selmo. I'd like to take them out on a, 8-hour or 10-hour patrol and really show them what it is about, because it's not about harassing the public. It's not about harassing auditors. It's not about that. It's about doing your job 100% of the time. And that's why a lot of guys, a lot of police officers, when they retire, they commit suicide. Because it's like it's a way of life. It's almost like a creed, and it's hard to see the inner guts of a society day after day after day after day. You never catch people at their best. You always catch people at their worst. That's why you're there. And it's really hard because, a lot of auditors and a lot of these guys, they don't understand how difficult it really is.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are some of the plans you have going forward for your channel? Like, what were your goals when you started your channel? Just, did you have any, or did you just want to do something?
Well, I wanted to defend the police. My channel is a very pro-police channel, and like I said, I'm almost up. I think I'm at 194, and I never thought I'd get above 40. I really didn't, because my channel's a law enforcement channel, very pro-police. I break down shooting scenarios like the one in Kenosha and the other ones that have happened around the country. And I don't really try to interject any personal bias into it. I just try to analyze the situation from a law enforcement point of view. And that's what I wanted my channel to be. And I never thought it would get this big. I never thought that I would, like I said, I thought I'd get 40, 45, 50 top out there, But it's not really what I wanted. That's not why I do it. I want people to understand the emotional side and the personal side of law enforcement officers.
Absolutely, and I think that's good. There's a lot of police out there that do that. There's I don't know if you've heard of Mike the Cop. He's really good. You should check him out if you haven't. He's another cop that kind of does YouTube. He got pretty big doing it, and I think you guys should do some collab, and it would help. Not only would it help your channel grow, but you'd be able to really have a conversation with somebody that kind of relates to what you're doing, and maybe get some pointers too.
Yeah, I like Mike the Cop. I also like Angry Cops, and
I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh yeah, Angry Cops. That's the drill sergeant, Drill Sergeant High. He's an Army drill sergeant. He's great. Angry Cops. That's a good channel to check out. And I also like Joe Pimetto, Joe the Lawyer. Common Sense Academy. I think his channel is really good. He kind of goes after the auditors, kind of like we do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Donut Operator is another good one. There's just a lot of good pro cop.
Donut Operator is huge, man. He's got almost 2 million fucking subs.
Yeah, Donut Operator is really big. Blue Bacon, I don't know if you heard of Blue Bacon. They're pretty good too.
Yeah, Blue Bacon lately has been concentrating on Jeremy DeWitt, that guy from Florida who's always impersonating a police officer.
Yep. Yeah, I like Blue Bacon. I've been trying to get Blue Bacon to come on. I almost want to try and get Mike the Cop. I don't think Mike the Cop would come on my channel. I wish he would, because I think it would be awesome. But I'm not holding my breath on that one. But I think it would be awesome. I like to have Donut Operator too. There's a lot of people I like to have on the channel. But, I like to, honestly, I know it has nothing to do with anything, but shit, I'd like to have Kourtney Kardashian come on too, just for me. You guys might not like it, but I would like it.
You like old Kourtney, huh?
Better than Kim, in my opinion.
You know what? I'll tell you what. I think because their reality shows getting canceled, I think they're starting to implode.
Well, no, they've got all kinds of stuff going on, man. They think they've got a clothing line. They're like dukes and duchesses of America. They're like the royalty of America. They got famous because their dad defended OJ.
Yeah,
That's their key to
and the
fame.
thing is, I think Courtney's the one with the makeup line, right? I mean, doesn't she have a cosmetics line?
I think she does.
Yeah, I tell you what, good-looking girls, but bad attitudes.
Absolutely, completely bad attitudes. But yeah, so I see. Why don't you do? Are you gonna ever? Do you plan on doing anything with Vilify Freedom?
Yeah, actually, Vilified Freedom sent me my first intro, and I got it downloaded, and I'm gonna edit it into the beginning of all my videos. He really bent over backwards to help me out, and yeah, I'll have that up on my next few videos. I'm not real good at editing. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out the editing process, but yeah, Vilified Freedom, he is really helped me out a lot. I mean, he made this intro for me, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's Chief Tuttle, country cop, and then a police car pits a fucking SUV. It's like, I'll tell you what, it's awesome, man. But yeah, Vilified, he's my brother, dude. He is so good, and I hope he's having trouble right now. I hope he doesn't lose his house. I guess he's kind of in a pinch where he might lose his house. I hope that doesn't happen, but he's a great guy.
Yeah, absolutely. He really is. Stop making stupid people famous. I agree, Kimber. Kimber, you should come on up. Yeah, so anybody wants to join the panel, there you go. You can click on the link right there. And if you also, from now on, I'm going to have Nightbot in here so you can just do the exclamation mark panel to pull up the link, and you'll be able to come on in and chat with me and Chief or whoever's on panel. Kimber, you should come on up. May, I asked May to come on up. She's always having technical issues. I think she just doesn't want to come up and talk to us. That's what it is, Chief.
Oh, come on. We're friendly.
More and more, I'm thinking she is the plant. Because I know there's a plant in my chat all the time. I'm starting to think, no, I'm just kidding. May's not the plant. I know there's always someone in here that's. Also, on the other video, on yesterday's video, I got one of the most dislikes on that video. I had like 10. Usually I have like 3 or something, but I had like 10 on the last video. So I'm thinking Josh had a bunch of his. There was a lot of people that liked Josh, but they didn't come up and defend him. Why wouldn't they come up and defend him, Chief?
I don't know, man. Who the hell could come to the defense of Josh Abrams? I mean, it's like, that's like an oxymoron. You know what I mean? Hey, Mrs. Jarhead.
Hey, Mrs. J.
Hello. How are you guys?
Doing all right. So I'm testing out some new software. I got StreamYard going with Streamlabs with StreamYard, and I'm not seeing any of the fancy stuff I put in. It's supposed to be showing like the member account and all that, but it's not. So I'm still got to fix it. Damn it.
I was going to say it sounds good.
Huh?
Mrs. Chief says hi, everybody.
Oh, well, hello.
Hello, Mrs. Chief.
I did have a ton of people in the chat, and no one wanted to come to Josh's defense.
Gee, I wonder why.
Josh on his other accounts. I think that's where it gets. Oh, I had 10 when I went off, but then I get up today and take a look at it. There's 9, so someone changed their mind. We won someone over. Someone changed their mind, so there's only 9 dislikes on it now. Go figure.
If he's so passionate about his point of view, why doesn't he come on and debate anybody? He never does that, like never.
Well, no, he went on Polly Crispies, and Polly brought up really good point. Josh, of course, ignored it. So, I mean, even if he came on, you wouldn't get anywhere with him. Just kind of like we weren't getting anywhere with Floyd last night.
Ugh.
When people set their mind, well, he kept going back to it. He was in real defensive mode, and that's just it. He wasn't really listening to anything we had to say. Even though we were trying to tell him, no, it's not about this, he didn't want to hear it.
Well, that seems to be their whole that seems to be their whole position. Anything opposing their views, they just don't want to hear it, or they just kind of create so much rhetoric that it kind of blots that kind of stuff out.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, a lot of them do it that way. Not all of them, but a lot of them, it seems like, definitely do that sort of thing. They don't want to hear. It's I can, the law says I can, and those are the type of people that I think that if they ever did anything like they do in what's that movie called? The one where all crimes become legal. Shit, what the fuck is that name in the movie?
The Purge.
The Purge. Yeah, if the Purge ever became a real thing, Josh would be out there killing people. He'd probably go out killing his detractors. He'd probably try and find out where I lived, where Kate lived, where Sancho lived, and try and do something like that. But he'd get a surprise, I'm sure, with all three of us.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he can do that to me. He can come over anytime. I got a 12-gauge shotgun waiting for him.
Yes, Strawberry. Yeah, yesterday was a great live panel. Yeah, it was cool. We actually had we had a new person come on. 2 new people, actually. And they participated and had a lot of good things to say. I hope they are able to join us again. A lot of new people.
You know what? The thing about the First Amendment auditors, okay, I'm going to give you a little insight. Police officers love the First Amendment auditors because it's like 15 minutes of entertainment, in an otherwise boring day. If you're not having calls, you're not going to a situation. I would just sit and laugh. I really would. They try to harass the cops, but I think most of the cops just find it entertaining.
Yeah, I'm sure they do too. So, Mrs. J, what have you been up to? What any goat plans coming up?
I can't get my niece over here to help me get the goats out of their pen and into the indoor and see what they're like in a larger area.
You know what you should do? You know what you should do, man? You should do a First Amendment goat audit. Go out in the streets, walk your goat with a leash, and record it and see how many people stop you and say, "What are you doing?" And say, "This is my First Amendment right."
Hey, goats' lives matter.
That's right.
I brought home a miniature horse in the back of my what was it? My Ford Explorer Sport, my 2-door Explorer. I brought a miniature horse back, and we were on the thruway. Boy, were we getting looks.
Oh, jeez.
It was funny.
Did it have its head hanging out the window?
No, actually, it had its head right up in between the front seat.
What are you eating,
It was
Gary?
like looking out the front window.
What are you eating, Kim? Nachos? It better be nachos, because nachos are great for lunch.
Yeah, it's lunch in California, but it's dinner time in Ohio.
Yeah, it's like 3, almost going on 3:30 here. What time is it? What's Ohio one? It's 5?
3 hours. Yeah, we're at 6:24 here, so 3:24 out there.
Yeah,
I love California. I grew up in Southern California. I don't know if you know Ventura County, but yeah, that's where I hail from, just north of LA. And boy, I'll tell you what, man, I was a surfing motherfucker. I loved the ocean, and now that I live in Ohio, I don't get to see any of it.
Couldn't do surfing, man. I'm too afraid of sharks. I just got this fear of sharks, man. I do not like them. Like, I'll go in the ocean. Like, when I was in Hawaii, I went in the ocean. And even though I was just right there, I was just afraid the waves were going to bring a shark in. So I heard some stories that sharks sometimes will ride the waves to catch a seal that's just chilling on the beach. So I just have this fear that a shark's going to fucking ride the wave and bite my ass. And I don't like that at all.
Yeah, the sharks that mostly take down seals are the great whites and the bull sharks.
Yeah.
Those are pretty big specimens, and the female great whites are bigger than the males. And I was surfing one time, and I thought for sure that there was a shark coming towards me, and it was a dolphin. And the way you can tell is a dolphin has a curved dorsal fin, and a shark has a triangular dorsal fin. But either way, it scared the crap out of me, and I was like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I just can't do the ocean because of sharks. I had a chance to go and do some of the crabbing in Alaska, go out on those boats and, go out there for a few months. You can make a lot of good money doing that because, you're out to sea most of the time and you're not able to spend that money. So when you come back, you got like a grip of money. I had a chance to do that. But my fear, the fear of the water and the sharks, it stopped me from doing it. That and I get boat sick, seasick, so it just wouldn't have worked. Which is why I never joined the Navy.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you went out on a crab boat in the Alaskan Sound, the Bering Sea, I'll tell you what, you're more of a man than I am, Kenny.
Oh, no, I never went. I never went out there. Me neither.
Boats for anything.
No, me neither. That's why I didn't do it. It's like, this is not going to happen. I just can't do it. I'll admit it. I ain't got. If Josh or any other auditor ever did that, I'd give them props for that. I'd say they're still a piece of shit, but I give them props for going out there and dealing with all that crap. Ooh, that's what they should do. They should audit the Great Barrier Reef. Go tell those great white sharks that they can film underwater.
The Great Barrier Reef is in Australia.
And there's a lot of great white sharks there.
Oh, yeah, they have more great white sharks around Australia than anywhere in the world because it's basically... It's warm water. They love it. They got a lot of things to eat, especially people and surfers.
Yeah, and yes, Randy, I know there's not as many shark attacks on people as you might think. I do realize it doesn't all that happen, but I got bad luck. I'd be the motherfucker that got attacked by a shark. Multiple times. You hear those people that get struck by lightning twice? I get attacked by a shark twice. Easy.
Hey, you're going to need a bigger boat.
Yeah, for real. What's up, Diver?
You're a wuss.
Hey, I'll admit it. When it comes to sharks in the ocean, damn right I'm a wuss.
I've done hundreds of dives off the coast of New Jersey and never saw a shark.
Never saw one, huh?
Never. And yet I've got a supposed breeding ground of great whites just off our coast somewhere.
Yeah, the females, don't they give birth off the coast of that area? I mean, that's like perfect water for them.
Yeah, the New York, New Jersey bite, they call it. But my first shark I saw was a sand shark down in the British Virgin Islands back in the 80s. But then in 89, I believe it was, my wife and I went down to, we stopped in Belize for a week, did a boat there. Then we flew to Costa Rica, did 5 days on the West Coast, and then took a boat out of their Punta Arenas port out to the Pacific coast, Pacific island of Cocos, where there are white-tipped reef sharks in the water every time you jump off the dinghy.
That's the thing. There's so many different species of sharks. It's unreal.
It gets better.
Only a couple species actually have been known to attack man. The great white, the bull shark, and then NJ Diver, the tiger shark? Is that the third one?
No. These were white-tipped reef sharks, and I didn't see any of them bigger than me. They were all smaller than us. And the other things that Cocos Island's famous for, of course, are whale sharks, the largest fish in the ocean. We didn't get to see any. It's just bad karma. But the other things were, of course, marble stingrays, about 3 foot across all over the place, black and white. And then there's the manta rays that's about as big as the room you're sitting in.
Yeah, those are huge.
Yeah, I got to ride. Yeah, I got to ride.
Awesome, man. I tell you what, I love that. Those things, those mantas, even the stingrays are beautiful. They really are.
Well, I got to ride 2 manta rays, one twice, one snorkeling and then again on scuba. But the one thing that Cocos Island is really famous for is the same thing as the seamounts out in Baja, below California, off of Baja, Mexico. schooling hammerhead, scalloped hammerhead sharks. And these buggers get up to 12 feet long.
Jeez.
They're coming.
Yeah, the hammerhead is the most unique shark. It's the most unique looking shark, that's for sure. But
Oh,
they're not really the kind of species that attacks people.
Well, when you got over 100 of them coming in looking for something to eat,
It's scary.
I got right out in the middle of them.
Yeah.
I just crossed my legs, drifted off the kicked off the rocks, crossed my legs, drifted off, got right in the middle of the school that was coming in. I had sharks going all around me, nothing really close. They kept their distance, and then I had one. I saw him twice pass in front of me, and I'm going, this is interesting. So I spun around and I'm watching him, and he's getting a little closer on each turn. And I had done some studying on sharks, and I find out that their pectoral fins, which is like their arms and hands, when they're out almost horizontal, they're relaxed. As they get more towards the vertical, they're starting to get agitated. And this guy's were almost at 90 degrees to his body. I got back to the rocks.
Man, that must have been kind of scary. I'll tell you what, man. I mean, sharks are sharks, but I mean,
And not as scary as the one night dive. Out of the 16 people there, I convinced one other diver to do a night dive with me while we were anchored in a little bay. And it lasted about 20 minutes to a half hour. And I have underwater video, and these lights that I have with them throw out 180 watts if I want. So everybody knew where I was, and my partner, of course, he's next to me. We're swimming along, watching all the night critters crawling around and whatnot. And all of a sudden, I get a tap on the shoulder from my partner, and he's pointing. And yeah, there's a small bull shark came in on us. He was maybe 5-6 foot long, so he wasn't really a concern for the two of us. And he was pretty much keeping his distance. So we just kept going. Well, then I get a bang on my shoulder, and he puts the V sign up in front of me, which doesn't mean victory or peace. It means there's two. The second one that came in was even bigger. So we started heading back to the boat. As we're heading back to the boat, I turn around, a third one shows up. Luckily, we were with the fantail and got the hell out of it.
it sounds like you got out while the getting was good.
Yeah, I may be foolhardy in some things, but when it comes to bull sharks, I'm getting out of the water.
Yeah, bull sharks will attack a person even quicker than a great white. A great white will only attack you if he thinks you're food.
Bull sharks will attack anything just to make it food. I'm not sure any of that made it to the video because I'm not able to look at them yet, even though they're that old. The main player for that type of tape kind of messed up. I haven't been able to get it fixed.
All right, sorry guys, I had to find my freaking charger before my phone died.
Yeah, I'm watching the news. Looks like Kentucky called out the National Guard.
Shit.
Why did Kentucky call out the national? What the hell's going on in Kentucky?
Yeah, what's going on in
That's
Kentucky?
just south of me.
More people have been attacked by barracudas than sharks. Also, I heard some crazy shit that piranhas aren't nearly as bad as people think they are.
Isn't Kentucky where the Breonna Taylor thing is?
Oh yeah, Louisville. Yeah, you're right. Louisville. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's where the guard. That's where the guard is. I guess they're there to guard infrastructure.
It's like I don't even know why they would be protesting. They already got a monetary settlement. The city settled with the family, and why would they be protesting?
Yeah, they're dissatisfied with the indictment.
Did they indict the officer? I haven't heard that.
Yeah, but what they indicted him for was no major homicide charge at all. It was endangerment for the rounds that missed and went into another apartment.
Oh man, it's hard to defend the police when this kind of thing happens. I mean, thank God I was never a part of anything that went bad like that. But I mean, this just seems like a clusterfuck, you know.
Absolutely.
Well, is it any different than the one in Texas?
Well, every situation is different. I mean, there's different law enforcement officers. There's different suspects. A lot of variables exist.
Exactly the same circumstances. They were at the wrong address.
Well, if they were at the wrong address, that's the mistake of the police. Yeah, that's not undecidable. That's a fact. If they went to the wrong address, they're screwed.
And just like that one lady who shot the guy because she was off work, she walked into the wrong house. I can't remember her name, that one officer. She didn't get indicted for that shit.
But it's like, this is the thing about being a police officer. You have to be 100% right all the time, and that's hard to do when you're a human being. There's always going to be oversights or mistakes, and it doesn't make them bad cops, but it just means that they're cops that made a bad decision.
All right, that's true. Now, do you think because that they are cops that they should? Because think about it, if we all can agree people make mistakes. Cops are people that make mistakes. Now, when you or me, who is not a law enforcement, makes mistakes, yeah, they'll agree that we made a mistake, but we still have to pay the price for our mistake. Should police have to pay the price, or should they get he's an officer, we'll give him one extra chance, or should they be subject to the same punishments that we are subject to?
Absolutely, they should be subject to the same punishment because,
How about the same bail?
Yeah, they should have the same bail, or they should be denied bail. It depends on what the officer does, and it depends on the circumstances and whether he was right. I mean, if we're talking about like a shooting incident, if the officer shot somebody and they didn't have enough cause to shoot that suspect, then yeah, they're going to be in the wrong. And I hate it when everybody thinks that because cops are wrong, other cops are going to support them or defend them. That's not the case. If a cop makes a mistake, he has to fucking bite the bullet. Okay, you made a mistake. You're going to get punished. Just deal with it. There's not going to be anybody investigating the crime that is going to, tell that cop, okay, don't worry about it. We're not going to charge you. Bullshit. They're going to get fucking charged. And that's the thing. With the information age, and we got video cameras everywhere, police officers are on film more than anybody else. And if they do something wrong, they're going to get prosecuted for it. That's just the way it is. That now other cops may not like that, but that's just the way it is. We cannot have bad cops out there making bad decisions because it's going to get the jurisdiction sued, because of like civil rights violations or something else.
Now, I agree with you, and I'm glad you said that. But unfortunately, in practice, it doesn't really happen that way. A lot of times, police get some sort of they get some leeway. They get the immunity that they have, because they're acting as police officers in the capacity. Look at, for example, the things that happened with Rodney King. I mean, they were acquitted. There's video proof of them beating the holy piss out of this man, and they were acquitted. I mean, how can you not see? You know what I mean? That should have, obviously, I think you agree that shouldn't happen. I know you've already said that. You agree that shouldn't happen. But that's what I'm talking about. In practice, it doesn't always go that way. But it is good to hear police say that it should go that way.
Well, the thing is when you go to court, a jury decides the fate of the suspect. And I don't care if the suspect's a cop or if it's somebody else. The thing is like if you make a mistake, you're gonna have to answer for that mistake. When you're a police officer, you really have to be careful, not to violate someone's civil rights. And we've seen time and time again where cops have done that and they got off lenient. And I'm not saying that's the right thing, but that's just the state of the situation in that jurisdiction at that time. Because some juries think they just side with the police no matter what. Some juries do not. So it's like it's a toss up. But if a police officer does wrong, he needs to be accountable. That's the name of the whole game.
So in a perfect world, if a police officer made a mistake, he knows he made a mistake. In a perfect world, the police officer should just say, "Yes, I fucked up. I plead guilty." Right? In a perfect world, of course, it's never going to happen. But in a perfect world, that's what would happen. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree because I know that a lot of fucking bad police officers have gotten off charges, and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to me for my profession because you know what, there are cops out there who just want to be assholes. They just want to take advantage of people. They get into the business for the wrong reason, and I've seen several people like that, and it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to the whole profession.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think now on the public side of things, I think that the public needs to understand that it's not the police officer's job to know every single law ever made. Yes, they're trying to enforce the law, but no one knows every single law. First of all, lawyers have to look up. That's why they get all this time to research a case and get all the information. They can't just spit this crap off the top of their head. Not all of it. Some of it's true, but not all of it. And a lot of people have this thing like, well, you're the police, you should know the law. No. That's why we have the criminal justice system structured the way it is. The police say, this is all you're doing. We believe that you're breaking the law here. We know you're breaking the law here. Then it goes to the courts, and the courts decide whether you are guilty or you're not, or the police made a mistake. But a lot of people, like Will Turbid, or Anselmo, or Josh, or Patty, you don't even know the law. Why don't you know the law? You're a cop. How can you do this? You don't even know the law. They expect the cops to know everything. I'm sure if they could, they'd walk up and say, we need to recite all the city ordinances right here, right now for me. I can go look it up and show it for you. It's like cops they don't know everything. They're not perfect. They're not all knowing. But people like to think that that's the way they should be.
Well, I tell you what. This is what it's going to come down to. Hey, Kenny, have you ever seen the movie Chappie?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, Chappie was a movie that was, it depicted robotic law enforcement officers, not human officers, and they were programmed to do law enforcement in the extreme. And in the movie, it was like regular criminals could not fight these robotic warriors, and it was a very interesting movie because I think that in the next maybe 20 years, 25 years, there are going to be robotic law enforcement officers because cops are going to start getting killed in record numbers, and they're going to have to come up with some kind of solution to stop that. And the only way to stop that is to take the human law enforcement officer out of the equation.
I don't think they should do that. Then we have a Skynet situation going. Kaka, what's up, man?
Hello.
Mr. J, welcome back.
I think they actually got this one right. the DA and the grand jury. You know, you were seeing with like George Floyd and everything, where the DA reached for charges that are going to get the cops basically found not guilty. This, wanton endangerment charge. I could easily see it, being found guilty for this one officer. The two officers that were found, or that didn't get charged, were the two that were in the doorway that had gotten shot at and were firing back in self-defense. This third officer was the one that was firing through like a window or a wall or something that didn't really have sight of anything, was just firing. And so,
First Marshall was a good point. He said, when I was younger, a cop of mine hometown was on call and decided to go to the bar. Got called into work and showed up to the scene drunk. He was let go. I don't know if it charged me. I don't know if charged. So accountability does exist. And yeah, absolutely. Cops get in trouble. I've seen body cam footage of police captains and lieutenants driving drunk, and deputies pull them over and they take them in because there's nothing they can do. It's like, there's nothing I can do. I gotta uphold the law. And the officer and the sergeant or lieutenant was trying to get out of the situation. Like, come on, just let me go. You know me, I'm good for it. They wouldn't let him go. Now, at the same time, during the same video, I heard, I've already got my cam running. So my question would be, if his cam hadn't been running, would he have let him go? I don't know. It kind of seemed that way with the way he worded everything, was talking, that he might have let him go if his cam wasn't going. So I think that the cam's going.
No. They would not have let him go, because I'll tell you what, if you're intoxicated in public, or if you're driving a vehicle that weighs over a certain amount of weight and you're intoxicated, that's a crime. And it doesn't matter if you're a police officer, a senator, or a politician, you're going to get charged, because you know what? If they did that, if they let that person go and he goes down and kills a family of four in a wagon coming up to the, whatever city they're, in, no, that's not going to happen.
I think
it's too much of a liability.
If you watch the video I'm talking about, I think you would change your mind and say, I think this guy might have let him go if the body cams weren't rolling. I'm sorry. I mean, I know as a police officer, you want to look for the good in every single officer, but at the same time, when you got to call a spade when you see it. And to me, it looked like he was going to let him go if the camera wasn't running. She was like, well, he was like, sorry, my camera's already rolling. Like, I can't do anything. He's pretty much saying, my hands are tied. You fucked up.
But, however, yeah, if the guy was driving drunk, he deserves it. Doesn't matter if he's a police officer.
I agree.
If you're the officer pulling him over and you do not do your duty, if you let a drunk driver go, then you are on the hook for whatever that guy does. If he goes down the road and kills 4 people in a fucking car, it's on your ass. And not only that, but if you're gonna pull over an officer and
if it's like, okay, it's hard to explain. You're not gonna fucking stick up for a guy who is breaking the law. He might be your colleague, he might be your friend, but it doesn't matter. You have to do your job.
In a perfect world, Chief, you're absolutely right. But in this world that we're living in right now, with how officers get jaded and shit happens, it doesn't happen all the time like that. It just doesn't. It should. It should every single time, but it doesn't. I mean, it just doesn't. But I get your frustration with that. But I mean, it's a reality that it does happen. I mean, not only for police officers, sometimes they'll let friends go. It doesn't just happen to police officers. They'll just let a friend go. Like, well, you're just going down the street, so I'll just let you drive there. Maybe they'll follow them and make themselves feel a little better. But they're still letting that person go, right? Even though they're following. think Chief left. Anyway, yeah, Taco and Diver, what do you guys think? I mean, I'm sure you've seen body cam footage in instances that cops have let other cops go and get away with stuff. Now, it doesn't happen all the time, but I mean, there's no doubting that that type of thing does happen, right?
Well, I've seen video of a local cop arresting a state trooper because the state trooper was drunk behind the wheel.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. They do. Well, I'm not saying they do it all the damn time, but I'm just saying it does happen. But yeah, a lot of times though, I saw a video of a senator actually get arrested and trying to get out of it, trying to use their power to get out of the situation, but the cops wouldn't let him out of the situation. They hemmed her up.
All the ones I've seen, the cop arrests the cop. I mean, you see them, struggle with it. Like, they hate being put in that position, but it happens.
Yeah.
And they're like, they hate, they're like, dude, you put me in this position, but ultimately, you have to go. I've already called it in. It's, I called in the, the stop. You're screwed.
No, but that kind of brings into question, like, if they hadn't called it in, if their body cam wasn't rolling at the time, would they have reacted the same way? In a perfect world, yes. But what do you think percentage of the time it does happen in reality?
I think it's pretty much 99% of the time.
You think so?
Yeah.
What about you, Diver? What percentage of the time you think it happens?
I don't know. And no one will ever know because none of it's going to be recorded.
That's the thing, yeah. So that's why I would think like,
unless you got a dispatcher that screws up and runs the plate and or license of the individual without their knowing that that's an officer. But usually, when a car gets pulled over, the first thing the officer does is radio in where he is, what he's got pulled over, what he suspects them of, and it gets recorded along with the plate number.
Yeah, but a lot of times the plate doesn't come back to the actual car. And there's a lot of situations where you pull over a car and you find out there's a lot of things wrong with that stop. So you have to start investigating what's going on.
Yeah, I know in some states, police officers' private cars aren't in the system.
Mrs. J, you're already here. You don't gotta try and get back in.
And the other side of it is, I have seen, and I said it earlier today in another panel, I'm going down the highway doing 65, 69, and I get a car go flying by me, whether it's on the left side or the right side, and he's got LE plates.
Well, I mean, I never really was on the interstate. I worked for a county sheriff's department, so we were always out in the county.
Yeah,
we were never really on the interstate, and when you're on the interstate, that's the state troopers, the Ohio State Highway Patrol. That's
well, in this case, Jersey State Troopers on a Garden State Parkway or Route 80 or whatnot. Those are the ones I'm on mostly lately. But what I'm saying is, the LE on the plate means that the owner is a law enforcement officer. You can't get that plate unless you are.
Yeah, and I have a plate on my car that says the same thing.
No draws on. There really is no topic. We're just kind of like shooting the shit.
I've got a plate on mine, near 20-year-old car that says I'm a first aider, and or was. I still have it on there, and there's no law that I know of that says I have to take it off because I'm no longer a first aider. I did 8 years on the first aid squad. I did 12 years on the fire department. Somewhere in my garage, I've got a set of firefighter plates that I never put on a car after I took it off.
Yeah, you did everything. Firefighter.
First of all, thank you for your service.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, man, firemen are the awesome. They're the fucking awesome dudes, man.
We're crazy. We run into burning buildings. But yeah, no, I was third generation. My grandfather helped start that fire company back in the 19th century.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, that is fucking awesome, dude. I mean, I have a real respect for firefighters because I was a law enforcement officer, and I used to have to show up to fire situations to do traffic control. I would not run into a burning building. I've seen those guys run into an absolutely on fire building just to fucking do their job, and I'll tell you what, it's fucking awesome, dude. I really have the utmost respect for those guys.
The worst situation I had in my own town was a split level home, single family home. We knew there was a victim trapped. I felt the door with the back of my hand before putting the glove on. It wasn't that hot. Put the glove on, opened the door, took a step in, go down on my knees to go up the stairs. I get this orange wall coming at me from the den. It was called a flashover.
Backflash, right?
No. That's backdraft. But no, it's a flash over. Thank God it wasn't a backdraft, or it would have blew me into the wall. As it was, this just scared the living daylights out of me. I had a funky sunburn on half my face, but I did back my way out until we got a hose on it. Because I'm always the first. I was one of the closest ones to the firehouse. I was always on the first truck out. I didn't want to drive anymore because it got to the point where driving and pumping is boring. So, I go for the jump seat. I was always in the jump seat behind the driver. And the interesting part is, we got the guy out. Unfortunately, he died the next day. But I've never had such a funky sunburn. The whole right side of my face, because I wore a hood, the right side of my face was red from my nose to the right.
You know what? That is fucking awesome because you know what? You did the job, dude, and you did it right and you did it perfectly. And I have nothing but respect for you guys because I'll tell you what, I was a law enforcement officer, but I do not have the balls to go running into a burning building. So you guys, I give you kudos like times 10.
The thing is, we're a little bit better equipped than you are. We're wearing fireproof turnout gear. I had a hood, which for those of you that don't know what that looks like, think back at the World War II British Navy and the guys on the anti-aircraft guns, they had the white hoods on. That's basically what I was wearing. It's made of Nomex, which is fire resistant. And we also have self-contained breathing apparatus that we're wearing, so we can breathe in the smoke. That doesn't mean but it means you can breathe. I've worn about, 4 or 5 different types of SCBA, and I've worn several different types of SCUBA. And I wear CPAP every night.
Yeah, man, that's been great. So you've been a diver, a firefighter, and a paramedic. Damn, diver, what haven't you done?
No. I was not a paramedic. I was a certified EMT, emergency medical technician, but that is a far cry from being a paramedic. Big difference.
Paramedics can give drugs, right? I mean, the paramedics
under a doctor's supervision, right? With telemetry, yes, or with very good diagnostics, yes. Paramedics can administer certain drugs. They can intubate you and they can shock you. And I think even now with today's technology with the automatic defibrillators, I think EMTs with a proper certification are allowed to attach the autos to a patient.
Social watchers, welcome.
That is so cool. That is so cool, man. You EMT guys are like the best, man.
Yeah, well, I also I was part of the hazmat group between the two fire companies. I was also a on the heavy rescue group between the two fire companies. I attended Bergen County Firefighter Academy for the heavy rescue. That was neat because we had to do everything from learn how to calm yourself on the way to a scene to rappelling out of a fifth story of a building.
That is absolutely awesome. And I'll tell you what, my father was a New Jersey state trooper, and he was stationed in the Morristown barracks. So, I mean, I think that's Bergen County, isn't it?
That's Morris County.
Morris County, yeah. Well, he was in the Morristown barracks, New Jersey state trooper. But yeah, I tell you what, I know that area, and I think it's absolutely awesome.
Yeah, that's very, I won't say mountainous, but it's really hilly. And it's got the major 287 and Route 80 going through the county. And actually, 287 goes through Morristown. But in fact, I was on it on Monday twice, going north and south. It can get interesting. But with the amount of training that is required now to be a firefighter, more and more towns are going to at least paid drivers. But yeah, I was a fire instructor for about 2 years at a local fire academy, North Jersey Volunteer Firemen's Association, before it went under. Because I moved from North to Central Jersey in '93. But yeah, I taught salvage and overhaul, and I was, of course, every time we ran a smokehouse. Smokehouse. Hell, it was a burn building. I'm sorry. We burned pallets in the basement and started it with a little diesel fuel. And yeah, it got hot.
Yes, Susan, thank you for your service. Susan was a EMT. Source Watchers, what's up, man? How are you?
Yeah, I could curl or uncurl your hair, as the case may be, with some of the stuff I've been through. The 100-year flood, I went 72 hours with about 6 hours sleep, 3 2-hour naps. And then I think, Super Bowl Sunday, 1984, we had a twin-engine Cessna spiral in and hit a house with 5 people in the house and 4 people in the aircraft. There were 4 in the aircraft, were all DOA. Luckily, it didn't catch fire because he was low on fuel, which is partly the reason he crashed. He lost an engine on takeoff. And
I remember that story.
Yeah,
I remember that story. Yeah, it was like, there was like a lot of like urban damage, when
No. This was a suburban town, south end of our town. It only involved one house, and because it was a single-family home development. And the interesting part about it was what we found in his right front pocket when we were going for ID. A little clear, what do you call those, Ziploc bag of white powder. Yeah.
What did they find out to be the powder of? Is the substance?
It was cocaine. It was positive cocaine.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. Well, fuck him, man. He's
that's not the worst of it.
High,
Well, he didn't like the cocaine. He just liked the smell of it.
Yeah, right. Well, the worst of it was he wiped out the children of his fiancée. He killed her and her 2 sisters. He took them, just gotten in from some other city, I think Boston, and he took them up for a joyride, lost an engine on takeoff. The airport is just south of my town. Actually, I'm sorry, no, on the southern border of my town. And that wasn't it. And this is all in 1 year. The following, that was in January, Super Bowl Sunday, whenever that was that year. And then in April, we had the 100-year flood. And then in May, we had a single-engine Piper crash after takeoff in the town where the airport is. But we ended up getting, we got called mutual aid because he hit the power lines, caught fire, came down into 5 cars on the side of a house in a carport. And that took away another 4 people. He didn't have his solo license yet. How he got his hands on the plane in the first place is unknown. Because you're not allowed to take anybody up until you got your full license. You're allowed to solo if you've been qualified for solo. But yeah, that one was funny because we had an engine that because I was senior man, I was in charge. We were over at the first aid squad helping them out with an extrication class. They were tearing up a car, and anytime you use the jaws of life, you want to have a hose charged just in case you hit a spark and something lets go. So we shut the engine down. We heard the call come over because we share the same frequency as that town south of us. We heard the call come. We heard them call out an all call for all their fire companies in that town. And then we heard, well, I told them, drop the hose, grab the nozzle, we're going. And that was my decision. And as we were just passing our company two, which is in the south end of town, we're at the north. I hear the call come in from mutual aid. And if any of you know anything about firefighting, excuse me, I'm dinner's repeating. We were second due. We manned the hydrant. First truck in, drops at the nearest hydrant, goes into the scene. They've got 500 gallons, and one hose out at 100 gallons a minute, you got 5 minutes of water. Two hoses out, you got maybe 2 minutes of water. But and then the next truck in hooks up to the hydrant and then feeds the first truck.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Hey, what do you think about those 747 water bombers, man? There's like 3 of them.
I don't want to be underneath. Sorry.
They can drop so much fucking water. It's not even funny. And I'll tell you what, those California fires, they got 3 747s, and they're not the 400 model, but they're like the 747 100 model, and they are the biggest water bombers on the face of the planet. And I'll tell you what, I hope they implement them more because we need to put out these fires.
They get them almost every time there's a big wildfire out there. It's just it's burning at such a high rate that it's not really helping all that much. That, and again, they don't have any of the help from prisoners who usually come out and help these firefighters.
Yeah, the big problem with the planes, though, is once they drop their load, they got to go back, land, refill, and then come back out again. What I love are the helicopters that go out and they see a lake. Hey, they can refuel, or I should say, reoil.
Yeah, they can not only they can actually take the water out of somebody's swimming pool.
Yeah, but yeah, if I was a pilot, I wouldn't want to do that except last resort.
No, actually, it's a thing. They can take the water from your swimming pool to put out a fire.
It all depends on how long the suction hose is.
Air Service.
Well, the one I always used to like was the Sikorsky Sky Crane, the spider-looking helicopter that you could load a big box underneath it. In this case, they loaded a big tank underneath it, and that could drop quite a few hundred gallons.
Yeah, the thing is about the CH-47. Yeah, it is kind of a funky looking aircraft, but you know what? It can put down a lot of water, way more than any other helicopter on the scene, because that model has 2 huge engines, and they have enough horsepower to do whatever they want. It's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely, Swordfish Watchers. Unfortunately, they're not really able to do anything right now because of coronavirus. But yeah, all the felons that are going out there that help put out the fires, when they are used, it not only does it help us, but it gives them a sense of accomplishment also. And, it's a good way to, get some skills for them so when they come out, they can really rehabilitate themselves and become a productive member of society. So,
Well, I still think they should get paid more for working.
Well, I think they should get paid more, especially once they're going out doing the fires. I mean, they're putting their lives on the line just like the firefighters are. Maybe, don't pay as much as the firefighters, but I think they should get more than they're getting.
Yeah.
I agree with that. And maybe even like some sort of accommodation when they leave and they prove that they are productive members. Make sure there's some things in there to where they can't just,
Yeah.
ground rules for it. But yeah, I mean, anyone that does it, I think should definitely get some sort of accommodation because that's dangerous work, and it's selfish. It really
Mhm.
is.
Well, this is the thing. You live in California. I used to live in California, and I know exactly how it used to be. Like back in the 70s, it used to rain for days and days and days. We used to have a lot of water. And now it's like California is turning into part of the Sonoran Desert. It doesn't get the irrigation that it used to. It doesn't get the water that it used to. The Colorado River has been so taxed that it's like it's not even supplying the LA basin anymore. So it's like it's like the environment is just changing.
That's because just the world in general is changing. Weather's changing all around the world. Um, you've got like climate, and I know a lot of people like to believe climate change isn't a real thing, but it truly is. And what California just got out of a drought, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, and it's looking like we're going to be right back in one because La Nina is starting back up, so we're already going to have a mild ass winter. And I was looking at a farmer's almanac, and it doesn't look like there's going to be a whole lot of rain in California.
Yeah, by the way, that CH-47 is known as the Chinook. Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
big one you see occasionally on the Army movies, or I should say the updated Army movies and/or uh, troop transporting stuff. Should I say missions?
so
It's an older helicopter, but it's unmatched.
Social Watchers, what's up, man? How you been?
Hey, how are you? Yeah, I've
But
been. I just got off work, so
how's work?
oh, it was pretty good. It
So
was all right.
you own your own business, right?
Yeah, I just launched it like a couple months ago.
So, do you work from home or do you like go into an office or?
Oh no, I work for a database company, but they shut down forever like last month. So now I work at Popeyes until I can get another telemarketing job.
Hey, money's money. Money is money. Hey, plus you
Yeah,
get that discount. Come on now. Popeye's chicken is awesome.
yeah, exactly.
That's a good shit. What I love about Popeyes is it's not like KFC. They're more spicy, you know? And the mashed potato and gravy are just bomb. Oh, God. But KFC's got the better biscuits. I'm sorry. They do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't eat out much. I like Pizza Hut.
Yeah, that's all right.
It used to be good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'm hoping these fires will be put out pretty soon. It's getting pretty ridiculous. I think I was hearing something like we like burned through something like 400 million acres, right? It's pretty ridiculous.
Damn.
It's what kills me. Like I've heard some things they're talking about how the reason these fires are so bad is because of all the old growth. There's too much out there. Now I remember in elementary school when I was a kid, they told me deforestation is a problem and there's not enough old growth. But now we have too much old growth. I'm not 400 years old, so within the 30 years that they were talking about it, we've all of a sudden miraculously gotten out of this deforestation issue.
Well, it's because of the techniques that were used in the 1700s through 1900s. They would just strip mine the entire mountain of all the trees. And yeah, they did some replanting in the smarter areas that decided to make an investment in it. But unfortunately, too many just saw the dollar signs and strip mined the entire side or the entire mountain in some cases. And then you have all kinds of problems with runoffs and mudslides and everything else. But proper foresting involves, yes, cutting away some of the older growth, especially anything that's dead, so that it doesn't go up like is happening now. And unfortunately, no one seems to have that sort of mindset in any of the forestry departments anywhere in this country. I mean, even here in New Jersey, where we don't have that much forest, except in the southern areas, the forestry service really doesn't do anything. They just let it go. And when they do try to have a quote unquote controlled burn, it unfortunately more times than they need to have it get away from them.
It's hard to have control there. And also, a lot of the forest companies now are actually starting to replant whatever they take out. They try and plant trees, kind of take away from what they've been doing. Up north, Northern California, damn, what's the company up there? It's oh, jeez, I can't think of her name right now. But it's a company up north.
Well, the other thing is proper foresting. Like I said, you take out some, but not all. And you'll have a healthier forest for it. And I've gotten this from experts. A group I was with, going to meetings for about 6-7 years. That was one of the main things that they were complaining to the state fish and wildlife about, and state forestry service, was, come on, go out and let somebody harvest a little bit of it. And they actually showed us one day, gave us a tour of the sawmill where they are allowing in this one area people to do just that, as a demonstration of what milling was back 200 years ago. But the interesting part about all of it is it was one little small section. And whereas, yeah, that was healthy as hell with all kinds of critters and food for them, and there was really no threats of any fire getting too far in it. Unfortunately, it's just the one area. It's not the entire state.
Taco. Okay, there you go. No, that's not connected. It says your device is not connected, Taco. It's okay, let you know. Now your webcam is all fucked up. Your webcam's like blinking. There you go. What's up, Taco?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. I was trying to figure out the webcam for the show. It's not working, apparently.
No, I think you need to get an external webcam.
It is an external webcam.
Oh, why can't you use it on your laptop?
It's not a laptop, it's a desktop computer.
Well, even better. It's time to get a new webcam, huh?
It's a brand new webcam.
Oh, shit, take that bitch back. Hey, motherfucker, this shit ain't working.
I think it's because my computer's old.
That's horrible when you buy something. I hate when you buy something new and it don't work. Like, I remember the last time I bought one of those new PlayStation 3, they're really sleek ones. I was like, alright, this is awesome. I'm going to get a sleek one, it's not as big, blah, blah, blah. I take it home, it doesn't work. Or it overheats within a week. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And it totally took me off of the Streamline one, so I just figured, it doesn't have a fan, I don't trust it.
I think it wants a USB 3 port, and I think I have one. So I just got to find out which one is the USB 3 port and then plug it into that.
There's too many damn ports on computers now. I remember when it was, you had a place to put your mouse and your keyboard. And that's it. That's all you need.
Mm-hmm.
No more. Gotta make everything difficult.
I need to hit like 50K subs and then be like a PayPal beggar and have people buy my new PC for me.
Mouse? Who needs no stinking mouse?
My laptop luckily is touchscreen, so I don't got to worry about a mouse. But for like the finer quality crap, I have a mouse just because sometimes the touchscreen doesn't allow me to do everything.
You do know all the jokes about the older mouse and mouse balls?
No.
Yeah, you guys are just young and you're playing with the optical mice, right?
Oh, I remember like the old mouse ball and everything like that.
You had to clean your mouse balls.
Yeah.
You gotta get one of those cans bare.
No, you had to take it apart before you did that. You had to drop the ball out.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember my first computer was one of those Amigas, and it hooked up to your TV. That's my first computer.
Well, this computer's hooked up to my TV.
Oh, nice. So you have an old ass computer. That really is an old computer.
Well, it's a HDMI connection, but
Cool. Right on.
but it's a good like 10 years old. Like it has a Windows 7 sticker on it, so that's how long I've had it.
Hey, it still works. That works. You did upgrade to Windows 10 though, yeah?
Yeah. I think it forced me to upgrade to Windows 10 eventually.
I like Windows 10.
It's not bad. Yeah, I forget what I have on this now. Let's see. What do I have on this? Because I have upgraded parts on it. Let's see here.
What kind of computer you got, Social Watchers?
I got a Acer. Yeah, it's an Acer Aspire.
Nice. Work pretty well.
Yeah, it has a light-up keyboard, so I like it.
You ever game on it or not?
Nah, I don't game. No.
Don't watch TV, don't game. What do? You read?
Oh, no. No, I don't
You
read
don't
either.
read, you don't game, you don't
I
watch
do math.
TV. Well,
They audit. They audit. That's what they do. Just like Patty. Remember when we asked Patty, and that's all he did was
that's right,
audit.
you did say that.
When I was a kid, I used to ace math class, so I do a lot of math. So
So in your spare time, that's what you do. You just, instead of anything else, you just do.
yeah.
You ever do Sudoku?
What?
Sudoku.
What's that?
Sudoku.
Excuse me a
It's like
second.
math.
Hey,
It's like a
PayPal
game.
Patty?
It's pretty fun,
No.
actually. I like Sudoku. You should look it up. It's pretty fun.
I never heard of it.
Yeah, I gotta say, PayPal Patty has another hobby. It's called gambling.
Yeah, that too. He does do a lot of gambling. What's up, Floyd? Do you gamble?
What's up?
Just chilling, man. You know, out here just living life in Omaha, Nebraska.
Do you gamble?
Nope. I don't
You
believe
go to
in
casino?
gambling, buddy.
You don't go
It's
to
a
the
waste of
casino?
time. Nope. I'm not about to waste my money on some rigged ass machines.
What about TV? You watch TV? Your buddy Sorty watches doesn't watch TV.
Nah, I don't watch TV, man.
You don't watch
I
TV
watch
either. What do
I watch
you do for fun?
YouTube.
What do you do for
I
fun?
watch YouTube.
Like what kind of
Work
videos
out.
on YouTube you watch?
Your videos, pop watching videos, constitutional videos, Dragon Ball Z, anime, Naruto, stuff like that, man.
I like Naruto. Yeah, it's real cool.
Naruto's awesome.
Naruto is awesome. I love Naruto. That was like one of my first animes I ever really started liking was Naruto. It's a freaking great show.
It is, man.
I don't mean to make a generality, but this is something that I've noticed from like board gaming conventions and everything. Black people love Naruto. Like every black person I've seen at a
Why you being
gaming
racist?
convention,
No, I'm kidding.
every black person I've seen at a gaming convention has a Naruto shirt on.
Naruto's awesome, dude.
No, Naruto's the best.
See, Omaha, you hear him? He's typecasting us. He's saying because we're black, we like Naruto. He's typecasting us like that. What's up with that, Taco?
I know, man. Why you gotta be like that?
I don't mean anything by it. It's just funny to me, man.
Sorry.
Oh, that's
I'm
hilarious.
in trouble.
What about, hey, did you ever watch Afro Samurai? That was a good one, too.
Yeah, I remember that back in the day. That's a long time ago, man. That's like when I
That's
was
a
a kid.
long time. You were a kid. I was little. How old are you? Oh, 24, right?
Yeah, I'm probably like, what, 10? I know. How old are you, Kenny Klein? Yeah.
38.
Damn, that too was 1920, man.
That's what I hear, but no, I wish.
Yeah, well, all you need to shut up because I'm 52.
Man.
Yeah, well, I got you beat. I just started Medicare.
Oh, damn it, Taco. Joe Cool just says he loves Naruto too, so I
See,
guess so
I
far.
told you. I told you.
Yeah. Naruto's where it's at.
What they say, it's not a stereotype, it's true always.
What about that?
I'm gonna have to do a street survey to find out if that's true or not.
I can't. I have no comment by that. I do have a USB 3, so I'm gonna have to find which one it is and plug the webcam into that one. So
Yeah.
I have a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 460 as my graphics card. That seems really old considering they're up to a 3080 now, I think.
Yeah, you're not doing any kind of gaming on your computer.
And my processor is an i7 950.
That is insane.
Oh, Pat turned 65 last week. Pat's got you beat, Chief.
What was the question? What was the question? I didn't miss.
Well,
I
you
missed
said
it.
you said you were 51, I think you said, and Pat's 65, so he's got you beat.
Crazy.
I need one more of those Trump checks to come in.
See, that's the thing. Kenny Klein TV brings generations together. Ooh, that's a good marketing little slogan right there. KKTV.
What happened to the stimulus checks, man? The motherfuckers, and I don't think we're gonna get another one, man. I think they shit. Yeah, they think they bail out the billionaires and millionaires, but when we need help, we can't get it. That's fucked up.
Well, they took one, and they're I think what I heard, last I heard, is that they're actually going to send it to a vote to the Senate again for a new bill, and Trump's behind it. He wants to get one going. So he's really going to try to urge some of the Republicans like Mitch McConnell and all them to actually get this shit done. And then we just got to find a way to get what's her face to freaking get it done. And she's just like, "Dad, you can't do it. It's my way or the highway. I've been in office for like 35, 40 fucking years."
Yeah, but why? Why I got things to get these checks
if
out?
Hillary
Man?
Clinton was the president, it would be a totally different scenario, and then people would be like outraged on the other side. You know what I mean?
Why is it going back to the Senate, man? I mean, what's the point?
They have to vote on it. They have to vote on it and approve it. And, it always passes the House without a problem. But the Senate, it's McConnell and what's her face? Crazy chick. The Democrat.
Yeah, they don't want to pass that shit.
No, neither one of them does. They want it done. They want it done, but they want it done their way. They're not willing to concede. We need each other in the middle. Even Trump saying we need each other in the middle. We need this stuff for the American people. The reason they don't care is because they're still getting fucking paid.
Yeah,
So they're not too worried about it.
Yeah, no,
It doesn't affect them.
they get big. They get lifetime pensions too, 6 figures. Fuck.
It doesn't affect them in the least bit.
Yeah. In what other profession could you do nothing and get paid for it? What other profession would there be? This is
Auditing?
like complete bullshit.
Auditing.
No, police, being a police. All I've got to do is sit in his car all day. You ain't got to do shit.
Not necessarily cost you a lot, you know. There's times that they don't do things, but I mean, there's a lot of paperwork and stuff. I mean, when you're a patrol officer, you got to do paperwork, and you got to find time to do it, so you find it in your off time. Which is amazing. Why? All right, here's one for like you do some auditing, or all right, you're a YouTube personality. If you see a cop and he's just kind of chilling there, are you going to assume that he's just wasting taxpayers' time? Or are you going to get to the bottom of it and find out what he's doing before assuming?
I'm gonna find out what he's doing.
So
and
all
if
the
he's on his phone, then he's wasting time.
But what if he's doing his reports online on his phone?
Well, that's possible, but I highly doubt it. They got computers for that in their cars.
Let us computers down. I mean, there could be many reasons why he could be on his phone. Maybe he's. You do realize that sometimes they actually do call people. Patrol officers do make calls to people who call the cops. They don't always just show up. Sometimes they call. I've had a cop. I did a missing person report, and the cop actually called me instead of coming by. So they do something.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, don't say that all the cops are bad, because that's a bullshit argument. You know, you wanna think all the cops are bad, and I'll tell you what, I'm gonna defend the cops 100%, and I don't give a fuck what anybody says about it. You know, you think that cops are acting a certain way when you're absolutely full of bullshit. You know, the cops do their job.
Here we go. All right, here we go.
I just want to say I got my, camera working.
Wait, what'd you say? What'd you say? You extortion watchers?
Oh, I said you're good. Don't leave.
Oh, I'm chilling, man. I'm just trying to have a good time with my friend Cletty. We can debate it. We can debate that topic another day. I'm just coming up here to support Kenny. Kenny's TV, man. I'm trying to chill with Kenny.
It needed the USB 3.0 slot.
So what are we gonna do? When are we gonna do part 2 of our interview? Because there's a lot of shit that's happening that people want to know about, and I want to sit down with you and do part 2 of our little interview. So what's good for you?
I don't know if we do it.
I don't know, man. I'm dealing with a lot of things right now, man. I have to. We'll have to schedule something. We'll figure it out, man. I'll hit you when I'm available, man. But right now, I have a lot of things going on right now, man, that I have to take care of. But we'll schedule part 2, man. I got you on part 2, man. All the questions are fair, and they're not. What is that called? They're not outright. You know what I'm talking about, like trolling. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Right. Gotcha.
Just troll questions, man, and you know, certain things I won't talk about. If it's case related, I won't talk about it. So, yeah.
Hey Kenny, I gotta go. Mind if I do a quick plug before I leave?
No. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Tomorrow at 4 Eastern, I have Justin from No Good Reason to Stream on my show. We're gonna have a small interview, and then we're gonna be reacting to some videos, and then, of course, five Tacos 5 Would You Rather questions.
I gotta come up with my own little thing like that. So now you're gonna make me think. Now I gotta come up with something similar to that, but not the same.
He liked the whole segment thing too. He's like, I gotta come up with something too. He's like, you should just call it Tacos 5, and I'm like, yeah. I think I'm going to just call it Tacos 5 because Tacos 5 Would You Rather just is too lengthy.
Yeah, it is just Tacos 5.
But I also think it's going to be the first show that I'm going to have the webcam on now too. So.
Now, one thing I saw one of his. I think I went on to his stream last night, and the first thing I saw, he made Earthworm Jim reference. I'm like, holy crap! I remember.
He was having some electrical issues last night.
Oh.
But
yeah, I like the memes he puts up. He puts some pretty freaking funny memes up.
Yeah, he does a great job. So, you know, and I got some inspiration from him and some other React channels and everything. So that's kind of part of the direction I was going with my channel, and I'm going to be doing some more board game content and some other content that way.
Well, hey, Taco, I actually. I need someone for this month. You want to do it?
Someone for what?
Subscriber takeover.
Oh, I can if you want.
Well, if I can't get no one else. Like, what about Source Watchers? What about you? You want to do it?
How about me?
Oh, are you a subscriber?
Yeah, I'm a subscriber. I think I know about your channel, man.
That's true. Well, what you gonna do?
I don't know. We'll talk about some serious issues. Whatever you want to talk about, bud. We'll
say. I mean, the subscriber takeover is all about is whatever you do.
I'm gonna talk about my auditing lifestyle, man. How about that? I'll talk about that.
But you can't get all pissed off like you did the other. You know what I mean? There's just.
No, I'm not, bro. Look, I'll respect your rules. If somebody start yelling at me, I'll just ignore them. All right.
Well, I don't know. We'll think about that one because I gotta. I don't know. We'll see.
I know you probably don't trust me. Take time to think about it.
It's not that. It's just like I know how I've seen you in streams. I know how you get upset, and then I know my audience, so I don't think it would mesh very well together.
But you know what? Sometimes you gotta go across the aisle, man. You gotta cross over and understand what's going on, man. I'm trying to understand.
Which is why I ask any kind of auditors to come on up and talk. Of course, Patty's come up before.
I definitely
how about extortion watches? Then
I definitely think it'd be a good challenge for you, Omaha.
I think it'll be a challenge too.
Because I think if you would have like Mrs. J and a few others on, they would definitely challenge you.
It would. That's what I'm thinking. I definitely have to be on standby. I don't know. We might have to limit it to an hour, just to see how it goes.
All I need is an hour. I don't need no 4 hours. I just need 30 minutes to an hour, man. That's all I need.
Knowing me, I would get Kenny's channel shut down from copyright strikes.
Probably would. Shit. Like all these videos and shit.
Hey, everybody, I'm going to have to sign off here, and I want to tell everybody, hey, I really appreciate your input. I like everybody on the panel, and hashtag back the blue. This is Chief Tuttle, the country cop, standing by.
Enjoy your Unabomber shed.
You mean back to USA? Constitution. That's not. Well, yeah, hilarious. I think extortion watchers should take over. If you want somebody that's an auditor, I mean, extortion watchers is kind of he's an auditor, right?
He is.
Kenny, I'm surprised I did not lose any subscribers over that cop joke I made.
No, you didn't.
I thought for sure that was going to get me in some trouble.
Nah, that didn't get you in no trouble. A lot of people seen it. It's almost at like 1,000 views already, which is really cool.
That's good for you.
It's really well. I'm looking at it right now. I think it's at 9. Last time I looked, it was like at 980.
Hey, Kenny.
When I signed off, it was like 500. So.
Kenny.
Yeah.
You should cover more innocent auditor.
Cover why? Is he that bad?
Well, he's just he's like trolling. He's trolling. What he does is he's saying there's like some 10-foot rule, and there is no 10-foot rule. Yeah, exactly. He's spreading false information all around on this video.
I'm gonna have to look into it. I saw.
Do me a favor.
Some guy's gonna look at those videos and they're gonna go do it, thinking there's like some 10-foot rule, and they're gonna get themselves in trouble.
Do me a favor. Can you pull that up and put the URL in the private chat?
Yeah.
Because what I'll do is I'll go into the comments section and straighten his butt out.
Because I asked him to reference me the 10-foot rule, and he says, well, you listen to everything you read on the internet. That's what he told me.
Well, he also thinks he learns a lot from Furry Potato, so I mean, that should tell you everything right there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right, guys. I think my suggestion, Kenny, is let extortion watchers take over, and I'll join them. How about that?
We'll see, because I asked Joe Kaiser. I haven't really heard from him, but I'm if not, I don't know. I'll come up with something. Or maybe I'll just
you'll figure it out one day.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, and maybe we'll do it some other time. Maybe not this month. Maybe in a coming month or summer or whatnot.
Maybe another year. Maybe another year from now, right?
Somewhere. Sometime we'll figure something out. We'll figure something.
All right, I'm gonna get off of here, man. This phone is burning up, right? This phone's getting hot. Every time I go on stream,
don't let it blow
up. Yeah, quick before you go, in the private chat, you'll see what I'll post.
All right, let me see. Oh, that Gillette versus Knuffy. Damn.
Glick versus Kunick.
Kenneth.
Cuniff.
Kenneth. It's kind of. I thought it was Knuffy.
Cuniff.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to pronounce those type of names.
That happens.
Yeah, it's part of life. But all right, man, I'm out. Peace.
All right.
Later.
Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna sign out here too. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks, guys. Diver, thank you for regaling us with all your stories of just everything, man. Just all of our Renaissance, man. Social Watchers, thanks for showing up.
No, it's just because I've been around for 6.5 decades.
Very good. Scott, thanks for joining me. Power Wagon. May, thanks. And whoever else is still around.